today because we're gonna, you see, the minister of culture and entertainment tell us that they're going to be doing some days a national prayer and fasting. Remember that we've been asking for that. We've been asking for a couple days for Jamaica to really seek the face of the Lord, and we've been asking for it. But we started, PDTV started to pray from today. So persons in the class, if you never start the fasting and the prayer, start tomorrow because we're going up until Sunday. So from early this morning, we've been praying, we've been fasting. We're going again into tomorrow, and we're going to go into Sunday. Yes. So kicking off tonight with what Mr. Stevens and his team has been doing. They started in St. James today. We pray for their safety, and we anticipate their safe return. Yes, but it's not just PDTV. You see, we over here, we are not disingenuous. We don't make it seem as if we're the only persons doing the right things. Yes, because once we see people that do the good work, we're going to highlight them. So a notable mention is Spice, Grace Hamilton. She actually rented some trucks, I believe, to transport some items to in support of the relief, right? So we want to make mention of that. As a matter of fact, I believe Marian Hall as well. She made available her 9-bedroom house the last time I read to be available to single mothers who need a place to stay. And of course, we have many other entertainers. I saw Vibes Cartel with the Adidja Palmer Foundation. I believe that's the name of it. You had some other artists as well. Well, we know about Shaggy, we know about Sean Paul and all of them. But we're highlighting Grace. Could you play that video if we have it?
Queen Spice rented 10 trucks to carry material for some residents of Bethel Town, West.
And this is a fresh drop, baby. Yeah.
All right, fresh drop. But ladies and gentlemen, you see that it seems as if, but big up to the Grace Hamilton Foundation, first of all. I didn't even know that she had that's a gospel song right there. I didn't know she had a gospel song like that. That's a worship song right there. I didn't know that. But this is the same Bethel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the same Bethel community that we went to. So PDTV, we started in Bethel. We set trend, you know. That's how we do. We set trend. Big up Grace, nevertheless. But Grace is moving faster than the government. Look on the amount of building supplies. Me see block, me see steel. The people of Jamaica, they have been saying that the government, they have been moving too slow. But see, we have spicing up the thing with some steel and black. Look on the amount of trucks. This is what we're talking about when we say we need to speed up the recovery process. This is what we mean, Mr. Holness, when we say it is time to move quickly. Because see, Spice could have rent up how much truck. So what's the excuse? Look how much truck she could have rent up with steel and black build up back the people them house. So what's the excuse really? What's the excuse? All of these artists, they are moving quicker than the government. I'm only happy that we still have a set of people in Jamaica that recognizes the serious concerns, who recognizes that now is not the time to be dragging our feet. For persons who are wondering where is Andre Stevens, he's in South St. James helping Nikisha Burchell. She's the MP for that area. He went there with food, clothing, packages, and all of that. So that part of the ministry is being done in St. James. So please pray for him as he continues to travel all over the island with other members of the team to help and rebuild Jamaica. So ladies and gentlemen, don't you recognize that a lot of persons can readily identify that it seems as if the people of Jamaica recognize that the government is lackadaisical. I'm only happy that we have a set of people in Jamaica that is not going to sit around and wait for the government. I support that. Because if it is up to the government alone, I don't know what would have happened to many of the people. To many of the people who are hungry, who are starving. A lot of people still don't get aid as yet. I was looking at a certain platform, and she's a reputable journalist, and she was saying, based on the numbers that she received, 27 communities in all are marooned, and only 22 out of the 27 food reach. So my question is this, and a lot of persons are still complaining that they are not receiving enough. A lot of persons don't receive food. Remember Peter's field in Westmoreland yesterday in Ishmael, when you come, we're going to talk about it. Remember a lot of persons never have no water. When them see the water, is as if they struck gold. So why is the government moving so slow? Why? But I'm happy again. I am happy that persons like Spice and Vibes Cartel them and I think even Russian and other persons. I saw some church groupies as well. I won't leave out churches who I've seen working. Because I call out the church for the end, man. Me ruffle some feathers, but me see them a fall in line. And I'm happy for that. So I see a lot of persons moving quicker than the government. And it shouldn't be. Because the amount of money that the government get so far, why you don't want to spend the money? I saw the in Parliament. I remembered the Prime Minister's, I don't want to say excuse, but his explanation was that instead of just going there and feeding one persons, he will create a system, and going forward, the system will respond to the needs. Mr. Holness, respectfully, if the system is going to be delayed, if the system, what system? If the system is taking so long to reach the people and to positively impact the people, we don't want that system. Go down into the communities, go rent up the truck them, buy the truck them, do something. Spice a lead. She gone down there with the steel and the block and the cement and all of those things to build. What system are we waiting on to respond to the people? What system are you talking about? We're trying to make this thing, and Dr. Dawes said it in the PMP's conference, that sometimes we make this thing rigid and so complicated to the point where persons are unable to positively and to effectively impact these affected areas. What system are we waiting on? What system are we waiting on? While we are waiting on this system, people are hungry, communities are marooned. Are we waiting on another disaster to come? Because remember that we're still in anything can happen, God forbid a million times that some other system out in the sea start draw close to Jamaica. I pray against it. But we cannot predict weather. We don't know what is going to happen. We need to be moving very quickly to build up back some proper structures for the people in the West. The world is watching, Mr. Holness. The world is watching. How is it that you are going to effectively respond to what has happened since Hurricane Melissa? And I am telling you, Mr. Prime Minister, a lot of persons, they are not pleased with it. And we all have a right to voice our opinions. I never want to jump to the one day, but I'm going to jump to it. Persons have a right to speak up, to speak out, to criticize, to give suggestions. That is what a democracy is. And you have to accept that social media plays a very big role in giving persons the opportunity to critique, to give suggestions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister said something early yesterday. Early yesterday, the Prime Minister said something that rubbed a lot of persons the wrong way. Because apparently persons shouldn't critique and persons shouldn't have an opinion. No, I understand the concerns of misinformation, and PDTV does not support misinformation. We always come with the facts, if you realize. We always come with the proof, with the articles, with the letters, with the videos. We come with the facts over here. We come with the facts. So we know we might talk when him talk about misinformation. But the way in which he communicated and the way in which he cautioned persons against misinformation came across as if him not want nobody say anything at all. As a matter of fact, it sounded as if he wanted to instill fear in the people of Jamaica. We shouldn't criticize the relief efforts by the government, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, if you say anything, you must be afraid of him when he responds. Ishmael, you find you have the video there when the Prime Minister talking at the early press briefing.
Up to those who are seeking to become popular on negativity. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them.
Prime Minister Brogard pushes back on misinformation and warn those who are trying to get popular off of the people, them devastation.
Who are deliberately, and there are a lot of people out there creating misinformation. And my job is to give you the correct information. If you choose not to listen to it, that's your business. Yep. But at least the correct information must be out there. All right. I've seen someone say, Prime Minister don't like criticism. Nonsense. Not every opinion makes sense. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them.
You hear that?
Be assured that I will respond to any nonsense that is put out. Not to be distracted. The critical ones. Because managing information is also an important part of the disaster management.
People fear me when I respond. How do you respond, Mr. Prime Minister? As the Prime Minister of the country, whom person should respect and whom you should respect, whom you should supposed to love and you're supposed to lead with love and care, with empathy. What do you mean by people are afraid of you when you respond and when you will respond to nonsense? So let me ask a question. When me ask a question, what exactly is the response going to look like if you do choose to respond to nonsense, in your opinion? Well, I'll tell you this, Mr. Prime Minister. What is not nonsense is the fact that 27 communities are still marooned. What is not nonsense is that a lot of persons are complaining that politics is being played when we all should be united in relieving the people who are affected. What is not nonsense is the fact that we still don't know how the money is being spent in the efforts to relieve the people of this disaster. What is not nonsense is that the private sector of Jamaica made it pellucid. They made it very clear that they are concerned about the slow reactions of you and your administration. That is not nonsense. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the only one here tonight. Ishmael, come in, man. Ishmael, man. Come in, man. Ishmael, man. Make them know say you're there to no man, Ishmael, man. What go on, Ishmael? You're mute.
Are you hearing me? Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, man. Bless up,
yes,
Ishmael.
Man, let the words of my heart and the meditation of my sight be acceptable.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Strength to deal with this country and this Prime Minister.
Ishmael, you hear what the Prime Minister said in the a glimpse, a comment, and somebody has said, shame on me for speaking the truth, shame on you for supporting an obvious incompetent government that seeks to drive fear in the people and that is arrogant in nature. Shame on you for that. But Ishmael, what do you think about what the Prime Minister said?
What he said is, it drives home the point. I don't remember. I'm hoping you remember what happened in COVID. There was this particular young man, And I say that in the context of freedom of speech. Do you remember a particular young man with his friends saying, "We're not going, Andrew, we're not going."
Yes, I remember that young man.
And before the night done, somebody find him.
And
it happened to more people. We just didn't see many of it. So much so that there was this air of fear around the prime minister. If you say something about him, you will be placed in timeout, proverbially. As far as I'm concerned, this is a reminder to us. Say anything that I don't like, and I will deal with you myself. I want you to listen to what him say now.
You want to play it again, Ishmael?
Up to those who are seeking to become popular on negativity. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them.
Prime Minister Brogard pushes back on misinformation and warns those who are trying to get popular off of the people them devastation.
Who are deliberately, and there are a lot of people out there creating misinformation. And my job is to give you the correct information. If you choose not to listen to it, that's your business. Yeah. But at least the correct information must be out there.
All right.
I've seen someone say, Prime Minister don't like criticism. Nonsense. Not every opinion makes sense. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them.
What did I just say to you?
Yes.
That is more than a warning.
Yes, a warning. Don't you dare say anything about me and my administration right now.
Or I will act.
Or I will respond. And you're not going to like how I respond.
Exactly. Because if I respond, you might not get a job or a lick in your pocket. Pop.
I
or
don't
a cuff you.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that coming from the Prime Minister Ishmael. I don't like that.
Yes, man. That's what he's saying, man. Keep talking, man. Keep talking and see what I do with you. That's exactly what you're saying.
That is I've never listen. He reminds me, and Ishmael, I know you know about Machiavelli. I know for those, remember, we still teach class. So me, the substitute teacher, and Ishmael, the substitute teacher, there tonight. And if you know anything about the Machiavellian perspective, the Machiavellian perspective posits that it's better to be feared than to be loved.
Okay.
And I strongly, yes, go ahead.
And the Machiavellian principles also teaches us the end always justifies the means. Okay. So regardless of what you say, allegedly, my smartity must happen. Allegedly.
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 Yes. So it doesn't matter what you want to say. Yes. Fear me because I am the big man. I am the one in charge. And at the end of the day, you can't tell me what to do. Yes. So make me ever like when Ishmael, like when you and somebody a cuss and somebody said to you,
just say
a while ago.
You know me?
You know me? The Prime Minister basically beat him just, I don't think, President, if you listen to what him say, him basically tell us, listen, people fear me when me respond because I have a track record of make man run and die in bed. When I hear say, you have to apologize for national TV, boy. Who you talk to? One government badness.
What could I go so?
What can go so?
What can go so?
But I am not afraid of the Prime Minister. I shouldn't be afraid of my Prime Minister. Isn't he am I not a Jamaican and he's the Prime Minister of Jamaica? I shouldn't be afraid of you, Mr. Holness.
What I love to tell him is not just that the world is watching, but all these relief resources that is coming into the country must be accounted for. And even if it's not accounted for by us, there is another organization that is that is keeping their eye on you.
Yep.
So keep on.
Yep.
Keep on.
It not look
keep
good.
On.
I was scrolling Ishmael through TikTok and almost every